The Los Angeles Lakers and the Miami Heat had engaged in advanced trade talks for former All-Star wing Andrew Wiggins. However, the Lakers have balked at the Heat's asking price. According to Jovan Buha of the Buha's Block podcast, the Heat have a steep asking price for the 30-year-old Wiggins. "I don't know if Gabe Vincent, Maxi Kleber, Shake Milton, and a first-round pick gets you Andrew Wiggins," Buha said, replying to a question from a fan of his podcast on his hypothetical trade for the Heat forward. "I've reported/shared what I've heard, which is that Miami has been asking for a first and Dalton Connect, which is an overpay for Wiggins. I think they also want Rui Hachimura, too, because they want to remain competitive. Obviously, Rui is a better player than Gabe or Maxi. Miami's asking price has to drop, as I've said before." On June 25th, Anthony Irwin of Clutch Points reported that the Heat were interested in Hachimura in a potential deal involving Wiggins. After reporting the Lakers checked in with the Heat about Wiggins' price, sources tell Clutch Points that trade talks have advanced to the next step, though nothing is considered imminent as of right now, Irwin wrote. It turns out the Heat wanted more than just Hachimura, which is why a Wiggins trade for the Lakers has not happened yet. Andrew Wiggins would have made sense for Lakers. Wiggins has 2 more years left, last year's $30.2 million player option, in his 4-year, $109 million contract. Flipping Hachimura, who is on an expiring salary and could be looking for more money, makes a ton of sense for the Lakers, not only from basketball standpoint. The Lakers have struggled defending the perimeter last year. Wiggins can help them shore up their perimeter defense while he can knock down three-point shots on the other end. Wiggins averaged 19.0 points, 4.2 rebounds, 3.3 assists, 1.1 steals, and 1.0 block in 17 games with the Heat since he arrived at the trade deadline as part of the Jimmy Butler return package from the Golden State Warriors. The Canadian wing had a bounce-back season overall after missing a chunk of games during the 2023-24 season to attend to his ailing father, former NBA player Mitchell Wiggins, who died in September last year. Between the Warriors and the Heat, Wiggins averaged 18.0 points, 4.5 rebounds, 2.6 assists while shooting 45% from the field, 37% from three-point line across 60 games. The 30-year-old and Dewing is just 3 seasons removed from his All-Star season when he helped the Warriors win their last championship over the Boston Celtics in 2022. Dorian Finney-Smith exit makes Rui Hachimura indispensable. However, Hachimura became indispensable for the Lakers after Finney-Smith bolted for their Western Conference rival Houston Rockets in free agency. Hachimura's versatility can help the Lakers mitigate Finney-Smith's loss. The 6'8" Japanese forward can also play spot minutes at center to back up their top free agent acquisition DeAndre Ayton in small ball lineups. Hachimura, 27, fits Doncic's timeline better as he is 3 years younger than Wiggins. He was one of the most consistent Lakers player last season, averaging 13.1 points on 51/41/77 shooting splits, 5.0 rebounds, 1.4 assists. Last year, just ahead of the NBA trade deadline, the Miami Heat executed a trade that sent Jimmy Butler to the Golden State Warriors in exchange for Andrew Wiggins and other moving parts. Now, less than 1 year later, it sounds like Wiggins could already be on the move again. According to The Athletic's Jovan Buha, the Heat are indeed shopping Wiggins, and the Los Angeles Lakers could be his eventual landing spot. Buha's sources have even revealed what the Heat are seeking from the Lakers during the Wiggins trade negotiations. Buha states that the Heat are asking for a first-round pick, conditions/protections unknown, Dalton Connect, and Rui Hachimura, all in exchange for Wiggins, a one-time All-Star. On the surface, that seems like an expensive price to pay for a starting-level wing who is proven competent on both ends of the floor. Considering the Lakers just selected Connect in the first round in 2024, they may not yet be ready to part with him, especially for a 30-year-old player like Wiggins. Yet, on the other hand, if the Lakers are serious about capitalizing on the end of LeBron James' career as he continues to tip further past 40 years old, perhaps a win-now move is exactly what's in the cards for Los Angeles this offseason. The Miami Heat missed out on acquiring Kevin Durant. The superstar forward is teaming up with Ime Udoka and the Houston Rockets. Therefore, Miami must find another way to retool a roster that got bounced in the opening round of the 2025 NBA playoffs. In recent weeks, the Heat have been linked with Jonathan Kuminga and DeMar DeRozan as potential new additions. However, in a July 2nd edition of the Steinline newsletter, NBA insider Jake Fisher floated a new name as a potential target for Miami, John Collins. The Miami Heat are an oft-mentioned potential Kuminga suitor and do have a clear need on the wing between all-star guard Tyler Herro and all-defensive team big man Bam Adebayo, Fisher wrote. The Heat have also been linked to Kings scoring guard DeMar DeRozan by various league sources and likewise mentioned as a potential destination for Utah's very available John Collins. Collins would bring athleticism, floor spacing, and rebounding to Eric Spoelstra's rotation. He could slot into the front court next to Bam Adebayo, adding a new dimension to how the Heat looks to play. Collins is in the final year of his current 5-year, $125 million contract. He recently picked up his player option for next season. Therefore, he should be easily obtainable should the Heat show a genuine interest. Heat could target Damian Lillard. On Tuesday, July 1st, the Milwaukee Bucks made the shock decision to part ways with Damian Lillard. They waived and stretched his contract, making him an unrestricted free agent. According to Tim Reynolds of the Associated Press, the Heat will be among the several contenders who are interested in scooping up the best free agent point guard. The Heat, this is no surprise, are expected to have interest in Damian Lillard, who very surprisingly now holds a lot of cards he didn't expect to hold, Reynolds reported via X. Reynolds then followed up with another post. Also expected to have interest. Well, lots of teams. It's up to Dame, and it's on his timetable because there is no rush whatsoever. Lillard is the type of veteran star Riley often covets. However, it will remain to be seen whether the Heat extends him a contract ahead of the current season. Lillard is currently rehabbing a torn Achilles tendon and may not be available for the entire 2025-26 season. Russell Westbrook is also an option. The Heat could turn to Russell Westbrook as a stopgap solution at the guard position. Furthermore, they could do so while also targeting Lillard. The Miami Heat could benefit by adding a point guard this offseason, and they should look no further than Westbrook, Bleacher Report's Andrew Peters wrote. The Heat are set with a solid starter in Tyler Herro at the point guard spot, but lack depth. The addition of Kasparas Jakušionis in the NBA draft will help, though he'll likely play more on the wing. Westbrook would be a solid addition off the bench, as well as a veteran presence on a relatively young squad. Westbrook could fill the guard position for Miami in the upcoming season. Signing him to a 1-year contract would then allow him to hit free agency next summer, making way for Lillard. Of course, Riley may choose to target Collins before solving the point guard conundrum. Fortunately for the Heat, it would appear there are plenty of options for them at present. All they need to do is capitalize on them.